In relation to the Prime Minister's comments about the laws of the EMA being used to stymie development and progress as opposed to facilitating it, one can understand the Prime Minister's frustration in this regard. However, we always need to balance the scales, and as the Tobago Business Chamber, we are certainly all in favor of development and progress for Tobago and for Trinidad and Tobago on the whole, but we are confident that there must be a way to straddle that divide so that you are able to have development occurring in an environmentally sensitive and environmentally sustainable manner. So we don't think that the two are so, impossibly far apart that they can't meet. We think that there are ways that you can do it and do it in such a way that you still preserve and maintain the environment and you still are able to proceed with your development while showing that respect for the island and that respect for Tobagonians in the process. So the carte blanche, dismissal of even the objectors as being entitled, trust fund weed smoking babies, they're just idling all day, and surfing and smoking weed. I'm not sure that that is a fair or just characterization. And even if they were, the reality is that at the public town hall meeting, lots of young men came there representing the interests of the surfers and the beachgoers, and they were very well prepared, well rehearsed, well researched in their presentations. So we have to always be mindful and respectful to take on board the views of others, see how we can adjust, adapt, and compromise to get a result that is a happy ending for us all. And it is possible. It is possible. It's not a situation of all or nothing, one way or the other. So we of the Tobago Business Chamber, of course, yes, we are in support of the Marriott project development. However, we are saying that it must be done in a way that takes into consideration the concerns of persons who are raising objections. We must find a way to meet and treat with their concerns, deal with it in a manner that is both respectful and sustainable, so that you end up with a win-win all round. We have to, sometimes step away from these highly adversarial positions where, it's daggers drawn and, you approach things with, the sledgehammer type approach. Sometimes the subtlety and precision of a surgeon's scalpel can help us to find that fine line between one view and another, and you can thread the needle to get to where both sides are able to say, well, look, we have been able to weave a beautiful tapestry as a result that is satisfactory to everyone in this circumstance. And we of the Tobago Business Chamber, we urge all stakeholders and all parties to continue discussions. And the EMA is a necessary body. Let's not get around that or ignore that. The EMA is a necessary body for protecting the environment. We've seen in many other countries, you see in the US with the Flint wastewater scandal. You've seen, in that movie Erin Brockovich, how the EPA in America has been a very, useful body in that regard. So our EMA is a useful body. It may be that they need to sometimes look at themselves, look at their operations, make adjustments, make adaptations, but to, make a carte blanche, statement which seems to say that their laws are being used in this manner may not necessarily be the best way of resolving this going forward. So we urge the EMA also to look at its operations, look at how they do business, and maybe make necessary adjustments as they go along, because dealing with environmental issues is an ongoing business. It's a living, breathing thing, and you are dealing with a scenario where you are doing this for the benefit of a society, and therefore you must make adjustments to cater for the very society you are trying to protect. So we think that, dialogue, reasoned discussion, logic, and common sense ought to be what dictate this process going forward, as opposed to, going in with guns blazing on both sides, because that will end up in a scenario where basically there are no survivors left and you really have made no progress at the end of the day.